In this video I'm going to show you how to paint fine art in Procreate 4. Welcome to Stayf Doodles. I'm Stayf van der Groot, a Dutch illustrator. I've been working on a series of paintings for the exhibition Look Up Haarlem. I've painted my hometown Haarlem and I posted a mini documentary about it, and I'll leave a link in the description box down below. Or you can press on the eye. I thought I was already finished with all the paintings, but I came across a beautiful statue on a building and I could not resist painting it. It was a sunny day and it was during golden hour. The golden hour is the end of the day when the sun is setting. You will get a lot more richer colors because the sun is not that bright. This painting I painted with the wet mix brushes that are new to Procreate 4. I used the oil paint brush and the turpentine brush to do most of this painting. With these brushes you can really mix your colors on your canvas. That's great because in that way you get much richer colors. Because the sun was setting, the building looked more yellow. To get more richer colors and enhance the image you're painting, it is best to use all the colors in the spectrum. With these wet mix brushes you can achieve that much easier because the brushes mix the colors that are underneath. I first laid down the basic design of the statue and blocked out the big shapes. This time I did not make a sketch but started painting straight away. I wanted this painting to feel more organic. A more impressionistic approach. Because the sun was already setting, the colors became more saturated. And the shadows are not that strong, so the shapes are more subtle. There's a difference when you take a picture of something or when you look at a building in real life. When you look closely, you see a lot of other colors that your camera cannot capture. In this painting I tried to capture that by building up the colors with different kind of colors. Some artists call it muddy colors. When you paint with real paint and mix all of your primary colors, you get brown. When you add white and black, you'll get a muddy gray color that is built up from all of your colors. When you paint digital, that's hard to manage because you can only choose one color from the color wheel. While painting this image I just used the colors from picking them from the color wheel, but when I had the basic values of the painting I started adding a variety of other colors and mixed them with the oil paint brush and turpentine brush. I also used the smudge tool a lot to blend the colors on the canvas. I also tried the technique that I've learned from a tutorial by the American illustrator C.F. Payne. There's a great documentary out about him which is called C.F. Payne, an American illustrator, and you can purchase it on Vimeo on demand. When you buy the documentary you'll also get 2 tutorials for free. I will leave a link to the review I made about C.F. Payne documentary below this video, or you can press on the eye. The technique that C.F. Payne uses is the following. He first paints the basic shapes with acrylics, and on top of he paints with watercolors. On top of that he paints a wash of oil paint over it and then starts erasing the wash with a kneaded eraser. I was wondering if I could use the same approach but then in Procreate 4. I created a new layer and set it to multiply. I used the burnt tree brush from the charcoal set to create more of a structure and filled the whole layer with it. Then I started erasing parts to bring out the highlights in the painting underneath. I created another layer and did the same thing but with a blue color to get more variety in the structure and color. Then I adjusted the layer opacity of the layers. On the top 2 layers I added a layer for highlights and one for the shadows. I set the layer for the highlights to the blend mode overlay and painted with white. The shadow layer I set to the blend mode multiply and painted with a light grey color. It's a handy technique to enhance your image without destroying your artwork. If you make a mistake, you can just erase it and start all over. In Procreate 4 you can look at the size of your artwork when you press on the Actions button and go to Canvas Information. You'll get all the information about your artwork. This artwork took me 9 hours and 36 minutes to complete. I painted it on A2 size, 594mm by 420mm at 300 dpi. There's always good practice to create a canvas with 300 dpi if you're sure you want to have it printed. I had the artwork printed on canvas with a glissé printer. Glissé is a French term for printing your artwork with 8 different pigments. It is used a lot in the art world to make quality prints with a larger variety of colors. All of the paintings I made for the exhibition of Look Up Haarlem were printed with this technique. I had them printed on canvas and mounted on a canvas frame. When you paint on the iPad, the colors are built up using only 3 colors: RGB, red, green and blue. So the glissé prints will look a little bit different than what you see on your iPad screen. When I got my canvas in, I started painting over them with acrylic paint to enhance some parts of the artwork. I use acrylics because they dry faster and are more elastic than gouache. Gouache will break. For this piece I painted over the great tit to make it pop out a little bit more. I also made highlights on the spikes that are on top of the building. They are there to prevent birds like pigeons to sit on the building and shit all over it. The great tit, however, uses it as a landing branch. She has a worm in her mouth and wants to feed her babies that are sitting in the left side of the statue. This painting I made for my first exhibition called Look Up Haarlem. I made a series of 10 paintings in Procreate of my hometown Haarlem and had them printed on canvas. This artwork is also available on my Redbubble page. You can buy it as a print or print it on canvas, or on a pillow or other cool products. I will leave a link in the description box down below, or you can press on the eye and go straight to my Redbubble page. Question of the day. What do you think has more value? An artwork that's painted on canvas or an artwork that is painted digitally? Please let me know in the comments down below. Drawing is fun and practice makes perfect. See you next time. Doodles!